Good morning, everyone. Joyce here, coming to you from my sewing room. Today, I'm going to take you through the steps and give you some techniques on how to create a zippered back pillow. So I'm going to turn the camera and we're going to get started. Okay, the first thing I want to show you are the supplies that you're going to need. So first of all, you're going to need a zipper, and your zipper is going to need to be longer than or wider than your pillow. You're going to need your pillow front, and in this case, I just pulled a small quilt block so it would be easy to show it to you. And to prepare your quilt block, if you're going to do any quilting on it, you would want to do that before this step. Also, on the back, I've adhered some fusible fleece. You can use batting or fusible fleece, and you want to make it about 1/4 of an inch smaller so that you don't have that bulk in your seam allowance. Once again, you can do any quilting on that you would want to prior to doing the pillow. You will also need a back fabric. So I chose this green, and I'm going to cut this for you so you can see how to measure your pillow. So this works on any size pillow that you would have. So my little block here is a 6.5 inch square. So I've cut this strip of fabric, it's 6.5 inches, and then I need to cut my back. So instead of just 6.5 inches, I'm going to add 1.5 inches to the width of that. So I'm going to cut it at 7.5 inches. So anytime you want to create a pillow back, it needs to be the same width. I'm sorry, I'm going to turn this way. It's going to be the same width as your pillow, and it's going to be about 1.5 inches in height, 1.5 inches bigger. Then you're going to take this piece and you want to divide it into about thirds. You don't really want your zipper to go down the middle. You want it to be offset a little bit. So I'm going to just kind of rough estimate this, and I'm going to cut this right here. So this is the bottom of my pillow back, and this will be the top of my pillow back. For the bottom part, I don't need to do anything. For the top part, I need to turn over 1 inch and press that. So I'm going to do that in a minute. For the bottom part, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your zipper and you're going to place it face down on the bottom. And so I've got my zipper teeth are up against the back of the top of the fabric. My zipper pull is off the edge of the fabric, and my zipper end is off the edge of the fabric. And now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to use my zipper foot, and I'm going to sew right along that edge, right along those zipper teeth. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to press this piece, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and sewed that. Now you can see I used white thread so that you could see my seam line. And I'm using a red zipper so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But with my sewing machine, my teeth are down up against the face of the fabric. I have sewn right along the teeth. And also on my top piece, I folded it over and pressed it. Then I took this piece to my ironing board and I folded this piece over and I pressed this. Now I'm going to go back to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch along those teeth again. So with my zipper foot, I just, and I brought my foot over here so you could see this, I just ran that zipper foot right along the edge of the teeth. I had my needle on this side of it, and I stitched right along that edge. So now that is, the bottom is complete. Once again, you would want to use matching thread. I'm using white thread so you can see what I've done. Now I'm going to take my pillow back top and I'm going to unfold this 1 inch. I am going to line up the 2 sides, and I'm going to line this up with the top of the zipper tape, and now it's face down on top of the zipper tape. And I am going to sew along this edge, so then you'll be able to see that. So right along this edge is where I'm going to sew. I have sewn along this edge, so it's along the zipper teeth right here, and you can see my stitch line on there. Then I'm going to take this piece and that pressed piece, and I'm going to fold it up where that pre-pressed piece is, and I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to stitch along the top here. So once again, I'm going to use my zipper foot along the edge of the teeth, but on this time what I'm going to do is make sure that my needle is on the outside of the zipper foot so that I'm sewing more up here, not right along the edge here. So that you'll be able to have this little flap for your zipper. So now I have completed that last step. I sewed along this top edge. You want to make sure that you catch the zipper on the back side too. So you might have to adjust your zipper, your needle, because you do want to catch that zipper too. But then as you can see, I have a beautiful finished pocketed zipper. The next step is extremely important, and that is to open your zipper at least halfway, because if you don't do that, you won't be able to turn it when you're finished. So I'm going to go stitch around my pillow and show you that. Oh, the other thing is, if your backing is too big, it would only be too big in the length, then you want to go ahead and trim that up. And that's not a problem. It's better to have it too long than too short. So you can go ahead and trim that to equal the front of your pillow. I have stitched all the way around my pillow, and when I got to this side, I did try to keep the zipper teeth together. Now I'm going to trim my corners, and I'm also going to trim off this extra zipper tape. I don't want that inside my pillow. And remember, my zipper is at least halfway, 3/4 of the way open. I also have found that when you're sewing the front and the back together, because of the batting that's on here, it is easier to sew from this side up. If you have the batting up against your sewing machine bed, it does cause a drag, so that makes it a little more difficult. Now I'm going to try and open up this zipper a little bit more, and then turn my pillow, and I will push out the corners. And once again, you would use matching thread. You can tell that I used white because it's kind of showing there in the seam, but that's okay. So turn all 4 corners. And get those out there. Then I can zip up my back, and I have a cute little pillow with a zippered back. I would press this, and then I'll make a little pillow form to fit inside of there. But that is how you add a zipper to the back of a pillow. Once again, you can use this technique for any size pillow. The only thing you want to do is make the sides the same width, the height I know at the beginning I said 1.5 inches, but really it's better to go more like 3 inches bigger and trim it afterwards, because you never know how big this is going to end up being. Everybody has different seam allowances and things like that. So I'd rather have you have it too big than not big enough. I hope that this has helped you. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.